The Amazing Spider-Man is a failed franchise with a really great actor in the lead role. Something they really got right across the board was casting. Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, and the villains with Lizard and Green Goblin and even Electro. A lot of the casting is really great, but the direction they took with the films, questionable to say the least. The first film is very passable, and then things just quickly started to fall apart. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of my least favorite movie-going experiences ever, and that's really difficult because it had so much potential. Still, these characters that appeared inside Amazing Spider-Man and even these villains are classics in the Spider-Man universe, and ones that would be really interesting to appear in No Way Home or potentially in the future with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So let's take a look at Amazing Spider-Man's villains, and let's recast them for the MCU. So today we're looking at Electro, Lizard, Black Cat, and Rhino. So let's recast Spider-Man. First up, let's tackle Electro, one of the biggest failings from the Amazing Spider-Man sequel. No, not specifically because of Jamie Foxx, but really what they did with the character. I really disliked what they did here, and again, he had so much potential. I actually think we are ready for another version of Electro. Although Jamie Foxx is set to reappear in No Way From Home, I want to see a different version, and one that is rooted in the MCU. I want to see this character with an emotional arc, someone who is younger, and someone who can sell this villain and almost make him misunderstood. Now, Aaron Paul is ready for this both in his career and because he'd just be great for this character. He's had little success outside of Breaking Bad, and I think he would fit this role like a glove. He can bring that uncertain nature he has with his actions and getting into deep like he did in Breaking Bad, and I like that he's a little bit on the younger side, and I can see him working well within the universe and keeping that more grounded Electro.
Oh, right, this whole thing is about self-acceptance. So I should stop judging and accept to start. So no matter what I do, hooray for me because I'm a great guy. It's all good. No matter how many dogs I kill, I just do an inventory and accept.
I think he can sell an emotional journey, but still bring that classic character to screen. So Aaron Paul as Electro. Next up we have Rhino. Now, in Amazing Spider-Man, I don't even know what this was. Don't get me wrong, Paul Giamatti is a great actor, but this is not something I wanted or want to see on screen again. I hope to God he doesn't even appear in No Way Home, and I want to see a new actor in a new version completely. I do also want to see someone who's actually Russian or close to Russian, like the character is in the comics, as well as someone who has that bigger stature where the suit can be built upon him. I hate the design in Amazing Spider-Man, and actually would like a Rhino that's fused to the actor, but still an extension would work as well. I do think Rhino would not work as a main villain, but rather would be great in a supporting role. Although he isn't an original member of the Sinister Six, I think he would work extremely well in that team format. Now, I want an actor who can be a big brawler, but can bring a little bit of that MCU classic type humor. I still want that anger that Rhino has. I want the less typical actor here, and someone who's not really well known for their acting, but who can do exactly what I listed above. That man is Vladimir Klitschko, who is best known for being a former professional boxer, but he actually does have a few acting roles to his name.
With earrings, with the flashy flash. The man wanna be actually a wannabe.
But it's in his interviews where I can definitely see where he shines and where he can really pull this off.
So sometimes it's boring because it takes time,
right?
But it's enjoyable. So beating up people for leaving is really fun.
It's fun.
Or not. I've been doing it for the last 16 years professionally.
And you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it.
And at 6'5" and 250 pounds, he's built like a truck. Although he's not exactly Russian and was born just off the border, he's got that accent, and I think he can pull off the menacing version of this character. I also like that he can speak Russian and give the character a more authentic feeling. So Vladimir Klitschko as Rhino. Next up we have Black Cat. One we actually only briefly saw in Amazing Spider-Man and is more just a name. Felicia Hardy is played by Felicity Jones, and in her brief appearances on screen, we really never see her do anything. Now, Black Cat in the comics is overconfident, has sass, and has the personality of someone who just likes to play around and have fun. I want someone with that nature, but someone who can also pull off the physicality that is needed for this role. I want Samara Weaving, who I'm surprised hasn't been cast in a comic book role yet. She is amazing in action, as proven by multiple movies, and has the vibe and that confidence that I'm really looking for here. I think she can play the classic version of this character, but also add a little bit more of an edge to it. I also like she's older than Tom Holland, where she can definitely play up that sensual nature, making him uncomfortable and adding a little bit more humor.
No, I mean, there's a lot of good memories in there, right?
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow night, you, me, party.
I think she has the perfect look for this, as well as the personality to really give you that confidence and knock this out of the park. So Samara Weaving as Black Cat. Lastly, we have Lizard. As I said, I actually think he was cast really well in Amazing Spider-Man 1. I do think the CGI could have been driven a little bit more by the performance, especially in the later scenes of that movie, but still, I think it's really well done. I like his honest take and his very down-to-earth portrayal, and although I want to go slightly different here, that approach is great and I think it worked really well. I want to go with an actor who has that little bit of a creepy edge to them. That's why I think Damian Lewis is the perfect choice. If you've seen him in Homeland, you've seen his masterclass performance where you just feel like he's about to boil over. He's amazing in the role and pulls off the full range of emotions which would translate perfect to this character. I also like that he just has that underlying creepiness to him. I think he'd work well with keeping the secrets, and I think you can actually bring his face into the design of the lizard as well. Either way, I think he's perfect for this role.
And right then, I knew that you were my partner in this for life. Because you were loyal to me in the face of the world, but in private you held me to account, and you were loyal to the bigger cause.
So Damian Lewis as Lizard. So there is my Amazing Spider-Man villains. Next, we're gonna get to the ones that are MCU adjacent, meaning Venom, Kingpin, Carnage, all those ones we've seen on screen, just not directly in the MCU. So let me know your choices for these roles that I cast, as well as let me know the characters you don't want me to miss in the future. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.